You're having a school fight in the playground.
Yep.
James, you brought Gimli.
Yep.
Who's even shorter than you.
Yep.
And you brought a Witch King who can be killed by no man.
Yeah, but Gimli's a dwarf.
Okay, let's do this.
So-
He's a dwarf.
And you said there's no weapons.
There's no weapons. It's a fist fight.
Right, I'm sorry. If we're talking about standard rules, right, of like this kind of thing, who is more of a tank than Gimli? Gimli is
Witch King.
Gimli is the OG tank, right? And we're also taking into account that me and Dan are going to have a fight, and Dan's a pussy bitch, so I'm going to smash him.
Should we have a fight now outside? See what happens?
It's too wet, mate.
Yeah, and I'm. Oh yeah, that's just proven that point, hasn't it?
It's raining. It's raining, so it wouldn't be fair on you.
Crash the coat again. Okay, so
I just dislocated your hip.
why is Gimli the guy you brought with you?
Because I panicked. Because Dan, like, I used to be well into Lord of the Rings, and then I feel like Dan's probably been more into it more recently than me.
I'm always into it.
Yeah, like, I haven't been... Like, I was well into Lord of the Rings as a kid, but it's been a while since I've dusted off the old Lotter. And when you said, no Saruman, no Gandalf, I was like, shit. Because them boys are bosses.
Welcome to another episode of Would a Panther Kill a Raccoon in the Wild?
The show we were too lazy to pitch to TV.
The podcast game show where two friends argue about the third's most burning and sometimes pointless questions in order to get a much-needed point in our season-long contest.
In some rounds, the two answerers don't always get to choose which side of an argument they're fighting for, which leads to some quick thinking and often has them mainly persuading themselves, but more importantly, the questioner to believe in what they're saying.
In other rounds, the answerers get a more open question where they can be far more creative with their choices, but they only get a short amount of time, and whatever they say first, they must stick with, no takebacks.
Our special round for Season 1 is Round 3 Fight, where the questioner will pick a universe from which the answerers must pick a character within it, and they must convince the questioner that their character will win in a one-on-one fight to the death.
That's the game.
Well done, Dan. And welcome back to Would a Panther Kill a Raccoon in the Wild? We are here with episode 3 after a successful pilot and hopefully a very funny episode 2 that the public finds. Current scores on the doors, as they say, is 3 for myself. That's James the Freight Train. 2 for Smokey D. And 1 for our very own Captain Kirk.
Just the one.
So Kirk's going to be making some plays this time, hopefully to try and bring those points back up. Maybe he can claw himself ahead. Well, I don't think you can go ahead, can you? But you can at least join me at the top of the pile.
I hope so, yeah.
So,
2 wins, and that's okay, yeah.
as we like to rotate, we are going to hand it over to Smokey D for our first question of the day.
Yeah. So this is the old coin toss. You know I love a good toss.
Can you give us a bit of a description about the coin that we're using today, Daniel?
It is the same coin as previously used.
We didn't lose it.
We didn't lose it.
We managed to last a whole week.
We almost lost it because I thought Kirk had it and it happened to be on the floor. So
we managed to go a whole week while keeping that coin safe.
Yeah, it's definitely been a week. Yeah, so I've got the coin here.
Right, I'm ready for the question. I'm ready to expand my lead and leave Kirk in the dust.
See about that.
So Dan, is yours closed or an open?
I've got a coin.
Oh, yeah.
Closed question.
Closed question.
Coin is closed.
Coin is closed.
Coin is closed. So my scenarios that you will not be choosing from. You don't have a choice. You will randomly go completely limp, like just drop like a sack of potatoes. Just
right. Okay.
Just unable to control your body for, let's say, 5 minutes.
Yep.
Right.
Okay. And it could happen at any minute, any time, randomly.
Okay. Yeah, I'm there.
No choice.
I'm there.
Or, in order to be able to speak, you have to be lying face down on the floor.
Oh.
So if you ever want to say anything, get on the floor, lie face down.
This is the polar opposite of my question last week, where it was like, oh, they're both really good. I don't know which one I could choose. This is literally like,
both awful.
How do I want to spend my rest of my time in this living hell?
Basically, right, I've got, like you did, I've got to pick which one I'm having. and I need you guys to help me decide.
Yeah. Okay.
Which one I should pick.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So this is the penalty for your sins.
Yeah. So, James, it's your turn. Heads or tails?
Heads.
Heads. So I'm gonna do the opposite of what you did, Kirk. What's heads gonna be? Is it limp or face down speak?
If James gets a heads, he's going to be limp.
And that brings us on to our first sponsor of the day. Viagra.
All right, flipping the coin. So it is heads.
Oh, I'm
so
going
James,
limp.
you are going limp.
Celeste's going to be disappointed.
Kirk, you better get on the floor if you want to say anything.
God, if this was a video format, eh?
Okay, I'd like to say.
Well,
hit me.
Okay, so I'm gonna go out the gates, and first of all, I'm gonna try it and say that sucks, bro. Right? Kirk couldn't podcast.
We've established that both of them do.
You wouldn't be able to podcast because you'd have to have some crazy setup, and you'd constantly be muffled by the ground.
You put a surface mic down there.
Okay, but like they're really expensive.
Talking to Mr. Soundman over there, he knows.
I've really shoved it.
£80 for a sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow, we've got to try those.
Surface mic.
We'll do a whole podcast.
Right. Didn't Red Jumpsuit Operators write a song about that? Maybe they should play that song while lying on the floor.
They should.
Anyway, so one thing I would say is people would see the going limp thing as a genuine disability, right? So you get benefits, you'll get a blue badge for your car. You might not actually be allowed to keep your driver's license.
Yeah, I was going to say,
right? But
probably
actually,
not.
what stops you from being able to drive while you limp?
Can people with epilepsy drive?
Some people lose their license. They have to not have
it's the same kind of thing, right?
Well, no,
because
you're going limp. But like when you say limp, do I have any control?
No, you like I say, sack of potatoes.
How often is it again? Remind me.
Random.
So it could be multiple times a day.
It could be like, you're walking along and you just go limp. 5 minutes later, you have control. You get back up and immediately go limp again. Or you could not go limp for like a month.
It'd be shit for sports.
It would be,
but it would also be like great for getting free stuff. Like imagine you're in a restaurant and you just collapse. Everybody be like shit, and
then some ice cream.
Yeah, and then as long as you have a partner in crime, they'd be like, he needs a steak dinner for two.
Right.
And like it'd be inconvenient, but it wouldn't impact your life that much, would it? Really? Like, okay, you might have a bad day where you go limp every 30 seconds, but take a sick day. You wouldn't
know though.
You might, on the other hand,
if you're on your way to work and it's happened 3 times, just turn around and go back.
Exactly.
So write the day off.
Just text your boss, say, get Callum to cover my shift. I'm going limp, and maybe Viagra would help.
No,
just one department.
Yeah.
You just limp on the floor with a stiffy.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. It's a stiffy.
Yeah.
So,
but only one bit of you.
You can't do anything about it. Just be there.
Well, it means that
if anything, it's a kickstand.
Stops you from flopping onto the ground.
No, everything else will be on the ground.
You could but it could also mean like you could get into some situations that were quite good, right? Like you could, like if you go completely limp, somebody could like stuff you into a box or something and ship you somewhere.
But you're only limp for 5 minutes.
Yeah, then you get consciousness back and you're in pain.
Well, but you're in there, right? Like you know that the hard part about getting into a position is the getting into it, not the keeping it. And like once you're unlimp, you just cut open the box, boom, you're in FedEx shipping center.
That's because that's what everyone wants.
Also, wouldn't it technically mean that you wouldn't die? Because like if you fell off a building and went completely limp, you wouldn't break any bones because that's the whole thing, right? So, and I'm not saying you can time it, but what I'm saying,
no, you die.
Why?
Fall off a building.
Yeah, like you saying you fall.
Plus, it's randomly. You can't control it.
Yeah. What I'm saying though is, let's say I'm retiling the roof. Mm-hmm. I'm not talking about the Empire State Building. I'm talking about like a building,
one that you wouldn't die anyway.
Yeah. But you wouldn't even break. You wouldn't even break your leg. Because you'd be limp.
Well, not necessarily.
I'm not sure that's how exactly.
You're not turning to jelly.
You're not an ant.
You're not turning to jelly. You just
Oh,
fully relaxed. Like you can't.
What I want to know is, can you afford it, James? Can you afford to break that many phones a year?
that's what Apple cares for. Mate.
Yeah, but what if it only happens once in 3 years?
Well, then you're very lucky, but
It won't. It will definitely.
No,
like, definitely more than
You're
that.
still incredibly unlucky because you have this constant fear that it's going to happen.
Exactly. So you wouldn't even buy like nice things, right? Because you'd be like, I'm scared of breaking this.
I think as long as you had somebody with you, like people can live perfectly pleasant lives without.
Yeah, that's true.
I almost did it so that every hour there's a 50-50 chance of you going limp. But then I thought, no, that's a little too much. I'll let it be random because then you don't know.
Yes, but I think the don't know is probably worse than the actual limp thing happening for 5 minutes.
Yeah, but fuck you. Go on, Kirk. I'm being grilled here, right? I'm being grilled on this, where you're just sitting there like mute, like you would be unless you were lying on the floor.
Well, obviously there are some drawbacks, which is, if I'm swimming, it's pretty hard to communicate. So I'll take that one, but it's not the end of the world. It's not the end. If I've got to say something, at least people are paying attention to me. Whoa, what's going on? Hello? I've got an announcement to make. People are paying attention, man. They are fully involved in my conversation. Okay? And
no, they're not, though. They get to the point where they're just sick of it and they're just stepping over you. Like, imagine you're in the middle of the city centre and you just want to ask, say, like, Dan, who is with you in town, and you just want to ask, do you want to go for Starbucks? You're going to lie down on the floor, that gross city centre floor.
Sure.
And basically kiss it. Be like, you want to go?
You can disguise it. Do a few press-ups. Hi, would you like to go to Starbucks? Right? You can hide this. It's not that bad.
Can you do press-ups that quick?
Yeah.
Do it.
You'd certainly get the practice in, wouldn't you?
do that again.
You'd get buff, right? You'd get buff from doing all those press-ups, right? This, what could be seen as a negative thing, into a positive. I've done sign language. No more getting down.
Yeah, he's got me there, really.
I can just sign to people. Obviously, everyone else has to speak sign as well, but I can then converse with the deaf and those that do sign. I've already got that down. It's a whole new skill that I've learnt, and I can do that. Not only that, but there are plenty of mutes around that do their own thing. They have like Stephen Hawking. I could have a little computer that speaks for me, and I can just explain.
Yeah, but I could have one of those in my limp state, and just no one know when I was limp.
That's true. But
just
for
be
5
rocking
minutes, someone could do something with you for 5 minutes, and you wouldn't be able to do anything about it.
Are you saying that I'm going to get molested?
You could do. Hey, I'm going to take anything. I need some points. I'm going to take anything I can. You will get molested for 5 minutes multiple times a year.
Jesus Christ, where am I? In an 80s prison?
Don't go to prison, you'll be fine.
Yeah. Like, I'm sure there are people who live with a similar type of situation.
Yeah. It's so tough because the element of this game is to convince you that my thing is the best. But while I'm doing this, all I can think of is why my thing is the worst.
Yeah.
And it's so frustrating.
That's exactly it. And I'm out of ideas as to why yours sucks.
I've got so many. Oh my God, no. And
Don't tell me them.
Like, you couldn't talk to the people that you love. Everyone would have to go through the effort of sign language. Everyone, like, every single time that you wanted to speak to somebody out loud, you'd basically have to kiss the dirty ground. How would you shout for help? Like, and that's serious. Like, yeah, what happens if you were stuck?
If I'm down somewhere,
if you're already down,
it's going to be on the ground, right? Unless it's like 127 hours where I'm stuck stood up with my hand in a rock.
Yeah, that. Or
I'll also point out that there's a rule. I was hoping it would come up naturally, but I want to point it out now just in case. If you're lying face down on your bed, you still can't talk. It's not the floor.
It has to be the
actual. Oh, damn.
So, right.
Okay.
Right, here you go. What about if he's in a lift?
Still the floor of the lift, it's fine.
Because if you're stuck in a lift, because they're the little speaker, they're shit, right?
Yeah.
You can't sign language one of them. You can't fucking...
Can you reach it from the floor?
Yeah, like you're going to be lying down on the floor. You're stuck in a lift.
Man, we are...
You can probably go the rest of your life without going in the
world
lift
right now for those that can't talk. Wow.
Honestly, to go off on a complete tangent for this comedy podcast, I do believe that it is a very overlooked issue.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, people who are deaf, there are special things in place for them, like lights and shit.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, and I guess people who are mute automatically have that because there's a lot of times where people who are deaf from birth are mute.
Yep.
Because they never heard language.
That's true.
But
how do they call for help?
Sign language should be it
should be
forced upon you.
It should be taught in school.
It should be like French, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't do French. I did German.
Do you know what I mean? Though? It should be taught, it should be taught like we do teach French.
It should be taught like it's taught like English.
Oh, right, yeah. Fair, yeah.
Not like an optional language. It should be taught like you need to learn this.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I don't...
I wish I knew
Down
it.
for Prime
We're
Minister.
really going off on a tangent on our comedy podcast, but like, so Kirk's stuck in a lift. What's he going to do? Worst case, I'm stuck in a lift for 5 minutes, and then I press the button and say, "Yo, I'm stuck. Help!" before I go limp again.
Okay, fine. But to be fair, we got to press the button. I don't think you have to hold the button though. I think you can just call, and then they'll respond, and then you can just
What are the chances?
yell from the floor.
What are the chances that they're going to hear you properly while you're screaming at metal
To be fair,
floor?
just the sound of screams, he's probably stuck.
Yeah.
I think it seems like I help Kirk out a lot now. Just don't take the lift.
True, there is that.
You get him
Yeah,
wham with your press ups. Might get wham legs going up the stairs.
Yeah.
What about? So like, I've had it before where I've had to drive into like a new factory or office or something, and you have to press a little intercom. What about the drive-through at McDonald's, man? You're fucked.
I walk in and order it on the machines they now have.
But like intercoms, you can't use them.
Hmm.
Like, how would you? Let's say.
Then I would just ring the doorbell until they eventually come down.
Yeah, but you could be there for hours
Yeah,
because someone will think it's youths.
Then they're not worth my time.
Yeah,
Clearly
but,
they don't know me.
but what I'm talking about is like, let's say you're in a car park and the barrier's stuck.
Right.
'Cause
Okay.
The difference
Yeah,
is you'll be able to drive.
It's an inconvenience for sure.
And you're sitting there pushing the button trying to get somebody to pay attention to you.
To be fair, my windows don't get under my car, and that's inconvenient enough.
I can
Trying to
imagine.
get out of car parks. I have to open the door and like drive to a certain position where I can actually open the door.
Have you considered buying a new car?
Yeah, I'd like to. Okay, yeah, it's a big convenience, but it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world.
You could get seriously ill. Like, imagine how gross the floor is.
Right. So I'm in a sewer.
Yeah, like, imagine you need to talk to somebody and sign language is off the table. And you're like, in a Primark. You know the types of people that go to Primark. Like, I go to Primark. Yeah, those types of people. My type of people. No, but like, people have stepped in dog shit and dragged it through, and like, you know what I mean? Like, how clean is clean? Even with like all of the hand sanitizer in the world, I wouldn't be able to like lie down on the floor in a men's toilet.
I mean, I'm not licking it.
Yeah, but you are touching it with your face.
Yeah.
Like,
To be fair, you could probably just get away with touching it with just your forehead.
yeah, but that's still.
Face down.
Imagine the spots you'd get on your forehead.
Wear
Can I
a
put-
bandana.
Can I put something down?
No, because then you're not on the floor.
You have to have contact with the
Oh,
floor
direct contact. I can't even like put like a thing down.
because then it's
Yeah.
no longer the floor.
Mm.
And that would be the same as like the bed, or
That's true.
you could walk around with a stick and touch the stick. Like,
Okay, but let's
Unless
say
you carry a rug around with you. I'd allow a rug,
oh, a rug. Okay, I can
so not a towel,
a magic carpet.
something
not
perfect-
a towel.
something perfectly portable. No, an actual rug.
No, because you don't just towels aren't just like a floor.
So
Like,
you're gonna.
I
so
can
you're
get a
gonna,
rug, cut a hole in it. It's a poncho.
Very heavy poncho.
Yeah, but not all rugs are heavy.
No.
you're gonna dress like Aladdin with a magic carpet
Yes,
under your arm
For sure.
everywhere you go.
And make money.
While all I have to deal with is maybe I fall over.
Go completely limp. But imagine, right? We are in a.
You know, if I go completely limp, do I shit myself?
No.
Because wouldn't that mean?
I mean, you might.
What if you really need the toilet?
What?
If you need the toilet at the time, then maybe.
Yeah,
But it's not like a side effect of it.
It's not like a side effect of it.
No.
Because
I'm not
like,
gonna-
if I go limp, you're just talking arms and legs then.
Yeah, like you just can't move. Like it's like you're unconscious, but you're awake.
So you can still pay attention. I was going to say, like, if you go to the cinema and you go limp, you've missed 5 minutes of the film.
No.
No, you can still pay attention
Okay.
to what's going on around you.
But he's now gone below the screen.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
you
if you're
can't
not
see the
if you're
film.
not already in a position where you're going to stay propped up,
Mm.
then yeah. But if you're in a position where you're like, oh, I've gone limp, and you've kind of stuck into that position, I did a visual for them, in case you're not watching on TV.
So every time you go for a piss, you're
Risk-
terrified you're going down.
Risking it.
and you could.
Yeah, but every
clang
time you
things on the
go
way
for
down.
every time you go for a piss, you got to kiss the floor to tell somebody, all right, mate. You know, like you do when you go to a urinal. Is it urinal or
Why
urinal?
do they do? Why do you men do this?
Is it urinal or urinal?
I say urinal.
What-
Urinal is
Yeah.
English and urinal's American,
Probably.
right?
I think it's where it depends. Yeah.
So you know how every single time you walk into the men's toilets, you obviously oblige the urinal etiquette rules.
And go
of-
straight to a cubicle.
Yeah, I mean that's the option. That's what I tend to go for. Let's
Yeah.
imagine
I think
You can
urinal's
hear-
gross.
you can hear that bloke, you know, the one who's had 6 or 7 Stellas, and he's there on the other side of the cubicle. You're like, fuck me, no, I've got to use the urinals, right? You obviously observe the etiquette rules, except for those horrible, vile places that only put 2 urinals in. At that point, just put 1 in and make us wait. And then you're like, and everyone immediately walks. You stand next to somebody, all right, mate, good night. And you get the occasional bloke that's like, oh, how's it going, mate? Yeah, fucking hell. Oh, and you're like, Jesus Christ, don't talk to me. I'm
I don't talk to
pissing.
these people anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say I've never spoken to a stranger at a urinal.
Really?
I've spoken to
I've nodded at most.
a friend who happened to be in there, and I was already drunk, and we were both drunk, and we were making jokes already.
You clearly,
But that's I think the only time.
clearly don't visit the right places.
I don't think so.
Yeah, no, I visited
worst one-
cubicles.
The worst one is a football game, because in a football game, like it's just troughs. There's just hundreds and hundreds of people at half time.
I just won't go to the toilet.
What happens if you need to urinate?
I won't. I'll hold it and be in pain for a while.
90 minutes, right?
Literally, I sat through the whole of Spider-Man needing a wee. The first time, I just didn't want to miss anything.
I couldn't do that. Couldn't do that.
I just
I had
suffer.
done that
I
too.
literally just sit and suffer.
I'm quite good. I've got quite good seal there. I can go for hours.
No, I'm the opposite. Like
I can't.
Wow.
I am so bad. Like, I mean, I have IBS, so
So you go in limp possibly every 10 minutes.
It
would mean
dangerous.
I would
Very
go
dangerous.
through. I would go through.
So
I'm not saying it can't. Basically, back to the original question. I'm not saying it can't happen, but it's not a side effect. It's not a
If I was
Every
in the
time you
middle
go
of-
limp, you're not going.
if I was in the middle of an IBS attack and went limp,
then yeah,
I'd be painting the walls.
I just like to think about your late teens, early 20s with this condition. Okay, and you're at uni, everyone's having a great time. You've met this girl or guy, whichever way you swing, and you've gone home. Now,
Or person.
plenty of people go around with erectile dysfunction, right? They have this thing, this constant fear. You've got whole body erectile dysfunction.
yeah, but it's
You are in the peak
Mm.
of this situation, and you just flopped.
I would explain it to somebody right away. Like, I'd be like, literally first date. By the way, don't freak out. I've got this medical condition that just means that I go limp sometimes.
Mm.
It'll really confuse you, and I'm really sorry, but please love me.
It won't be the going limp. It'll be the desperation that turns them off.
Exactly.
And then I'm all for honesty in a relationship.
Shouldn't we all be?
The real things here. The real things. That was a good answer. I like that. I thought I might trade for that.
I mean, I think I've lost this. Like, if I'm 100% honest, like Kirk's one is an inconvenience, but you can live a normal life. Mine is genuinely the plight of probably a lot of epileptic people, but also, a real fear. And it limits so much you could do. Like, if you were, you can't drive. You can't really go out in public without someone who knows. You can't go to Alton Towers. What happens if you go limp and you slip off under the barrier?
No, they hold you in because people literally faint.
Mm.
You find for Alton Towers.
So, okay, so Alton Towers I can go to.
Yeah.
But probably not Cheshire
World of Adventures. Chessington World of Adventures.
That's the one. They're a little bit outdated, they are.
Yeah, I wouldn't go on one that doesn't secure you.
Like fairground rides.
I mean, bingo
I
would suck with my condition.
What?
Bingo would suck.
Yeah, but that's literally like, oh no, you can't go to bingo.
Well, surely
You could literally
you can be just be like,
I bet you can get an app
You
on your
can.
phone.
yeah,
That does,
It is done on.
Is
or
there
you
an-
can bang the
it's done on
table.
tablets now, man.
You
Yeah.
can bang the table. Yeah, I think we can wrap up there if you want, because like Kirk wins. Like, to be honest, I will admit that I was kind of like thinking about it at the start. I was like, which one would I rather? I was like, probably go limp. Like, how annoying would it be to
There you go. You could just have that video playing. Bingo! You'd be all right.
I didn't want to talk anyway.
Actually, yeah, to be fair, I would just carry a PA speaker with me and recordings.
Yeah, I mean, and literally, like, even in the modern world with phones and stuff everywhere, you could just text. Sorry, Dan. Continue.
Well, Kirk, you've already won, so I don't know why you're still going.
Yay!
But yeah, I was thinking, like, at the start, like, what would I have? And I was like, not being able to talk. How irritating would that be? I'd get so angry. But you've raised so many good points. And I was at the start like, oh, going limp's probably better. It's only random. It's fine. And then
yeah, I was
somehow
hopeful.
James has convinced me never to want that.
I was hopeful to begin with, and then I realised how much easier the other one would be.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying that being mute essentially wouldn't be easy.
No.
Would be easy. So,
Yeah.
But people basically do it already.
like, another complete tangent, even though this question's finished. I used to work for a company, really nice company, and what they do, like, where they hire people, like, it's a factory, like, making car parts, but they hire people with disabilities. Like, it's like the whole business model is these people with disabilities get employed, and it kind of subsidizes on top of their benefits.
Is that how you got hired?
But it's really cool because, like, I've met quite a few mute people and deaf people and blind people who work full time basically and really get the most out of life, and you never
have the infrastructure. I mean, I guess one thing you could have said was there's no limit to what country I'm in, right? If I was in a tough country that couldn't deal with that, then my life's a living hell.
Yeah, I mean, if
Same for
you were in Madagascar,
At what point are you ever going to go to Madagascar? Let's be real.
the lemurs wouldn't be able to help.
Unless it was question 1 from last time.
No. But that's me, not you. You can only talk to animals if you're lying face down.
So Dan, you and I are now tied in second place. James still up there in first place with 3 points.
Bow down to me, children.
But it could all change in this second question.
Yeah.
It's my question now, isn't it?
It is.
Oh, wow. So, guys, I have our first ever audience submitted question.
Oh, nice.
So I want you to be aware that this was not entirely my choice, but
Okay.
I felt honor bound to let the audience have their say, as we have said. If you guys
Thank you,
want
audience member.
if you guys want to submit,
Do you want to
These-
name? Do you want to name drop them? Shout out, or are they? Gonna
I'm just going to call him Poe, the Kung Fu Panda,
Okay.
because he hasn't given me a pseudonym to use, and I'm not sure if I want to start throwing people's real names out.
Oh, it's Chad Black. Sweet.
Yeah. So please, if you're going to submit a question, submit a pseudonym that you'd like it to be under, or just say you can use my real name. That's up to you. Right. So the question we have is, if you could go back in time and invent one company or thing,
Oh,
what would it be?
I think this is the best question so far.
Got to be Amazon, right?
Interesting. You got Amazon.
Is that so? Dan's gone with Amazon.
There's only really one other that I'd take,
Well, you've said Amazon now, so I'm locking you in.
but it's all. Does it count? I'll wait
Yeah. Let
to
Kirk,
ask.
let
I'm
Kirk-
keeping Amazon.
yeah. Let Kirk make his decision. I don't want you to.
Company or thing.
Yeah. So, for example, you could go back to the 1800s and invent the motor car for all I care. You could go back to 1932 and invent Quick Fit. I don't fucking know.
But if that's your thing,
What I'm saying is, you could either invent a product or invent a product or service or a company.
Right.
And
Oh,
I'm going to
man.
work under the assumption, this to help you guys, work under the assumption that when you go back in time, you also then have time, that you also then have time to like study and develop the skills that you need to do that.
Okay. So as in we can go back far enough to ensure that we have 4 years to
Yeah. So
prepare for that thing. Or
Yes.
can we do that before we go back?
so if you
Either or.
if you go back and you say I want to be the one that invented the light bulb,
Mhm.
you go back and essentially live out what's his face's Edison's life
well,
in a way.
you
or-
you learn the skills.
You do it
Yeah,
first.
yeah.
I guess you just do it first, right? You can go back 50
You
years
just
before.
go and do it
Yeah,
first.
you learn it. You learn the. There's going to be no impact to the timeline in inverted
Oh,
commas.
cool.
So what I mean by that is, if
There's
you
no
invite,
chaos theory.
if you invent the light bulb a week before Thomas Edison, that's not going to change anybody else's life but your own.
Except will he be
And
then in
Thomas
history
Edison's.
books as
Yes, but-
So it changed
but-
some Edison's.
no, it'll be Kirk Hastings.
Yeah. But it changes Edison's life.
Where do you live? Let's tell everyone.
Yeah, it doesn't. I don't.
Oh, as in he'd be unbeknownst.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
but what I'm saying is, in the grand
It
scheme
just
of
switch it.
yeah, it's not like you would bring light bulbs to the world 50 years before.
Yeah, and then UFOs
And then-
exist, right?
yeah.
Okay.
It's like
Okay,
you didn't invent atheism
Okay.
in the 1300s. That kind of thing,
I know this is a
Yeah.
comedy show, but I might just go clever.
right?
with
Okay,
this.
go clever. But
I'm
then you got
gonna
to
go-
argue for it. And
Yeah.
if you don't make me laugh, I won't give you the point.
I invent copywriting,
Fucking hell, that's a good one. That is. Oof. Okay.
and then I'm in control of every company.
But isn't copywriting is not in itself a profitable thing, is it? In that,
They required copywriters in the day, I'm sure. You had to go somewhere and have someone copyright your product, business.
yeah, but can you
But that-
copyright copywriting?
Yeah.
Because
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I can't have that then.
I mean, no,
Damn.
you're stuck now.
But have I got to stick
Yeah,
with?
that's it.
Well,
Unless you're arguing that it's not
no,
a
okay.
legal answer.
I'm going to say it's an illegal answer. Actually,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, fine.
I'll allow it.
That's because Dan's on Easy Street. Dan's picked, the behemoth.
No, I mean, like, you can change it.
Okay,
Not as in
cool.
I'll allow you to have that.
Cool.
Come on, Kurt. I'm putting you under pressure now.
Yep.
I'm bored of waiting. What have you got for me?
I would invent the guillotine.
Oh, okay. So you're going to be quite happy in the 1600s. in
Quite
France
happy
then.
back there. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. So let's go for it, boys. Then why Amazon?
I'm driven by money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, you're driven by a car.
All I want in life is some money.
Some sweet
And-
green.
Yeah. Amazon is the most profitable. I mean, he's the second richest person in the world, isn't he?
Who's the richest?
Elon Musk.
Oh, yeah.
Does he just flip?
So I should have said Tesla, but I
Does
didn't
he
think of that until after.
Does he just flip between those two constantly?
Must
Depending
do.
on
I
who's
think Elon Musk is scraping away.
the- Okay.
I think. I'm not really. I don't keep up that much with
Is that because Bezos likes to make spaceships that look very phallic?
probably.
Like, have you seen the Blue Origin spaceship?
I haven't,
It
no.
literally looks like a dildo. Like, I know this is an audio medium, so once again, us Googling things isn't really going to look very good on the podcast. I've just Googled Google. I've broken Google.
I did that earlier at work. I went onto Shutterstock and went into the search bar of Shutterstock and just typed Shutterstock. And then I looked at it, what's going on? What's happening? I'm an idiot.
You just quote IT crap, by the way, James.
What?
that what you did?
Because I broke
Broke the
Google.
internet.
Yeah.
Cool.
Tell me that he's not compensated for something. Right. Everybody who's listening to this podcast right now needs to go and see what the Blue Origin rocket
Yeah,
looks like.
Google it yourselves just so you can be in the loop.
It's phallic in nature, shall we say? So, my question to you is: okay, you invent Amazon, right? Amazon was an online bookshop. That's all it was to start with. Do you have the business sense to turn?
You've already said we can learn the skills.
No. You learn the skills to start or invent the thing. It's your choice as to where it goes after that.
Well, then, yeah, I'd
So are you going to have, do you have the business sense to be able to turn Amazon into what it is today from the bookshop that it started as?
I mean,
Because this is the trap hole that something like Amazon turns into. Like, you could have said Apple, and I'd have said, well, what about, do you have the business sense to take it from someone's garage in California?
I would have argued that is
No,
learning
that's not
the skills.
No.
Because if I'm going back in
I'll
time,
start a bookshop.
if I'm going back in time, I fully know what I'm going to do. So then, yeah, I'd be like, okay, I'm going to go and I'm going to turn this into Amazon. This
But
is
have
what
you
it's
got to
gonna-
wait? Because obviously, when did
But would
Amazon
I not-
start? Like 90s?
90s, yeah, I think.
Late 90s? So you would have to wait 20 years unless, because for the internet to come
So
out.
yeah, but I'd be fully aware the internet's coming.
Okay.
I'd be ready for it.
Okay, that's true. That's true.
Yeah,
That's
I mean, yeah. So when I'm talking about the skills that you would have, like I'm saying, if you invented the car, let's keep using that one.
Yeah.
You have the engineering skills necessary to make that.
Yeah.
So if you invent Amazon, you have the
Yeah, no, I get what
the
you're trying
web
to
skills, the internet skills. Like
Yeah.
you have the maybe you have the 90s version of Squarespace,
Right.
and you just do it yourself.
say. Do I get to choose when I go back in time?
In what sense?
So I'm going to go and invent Amazon. What do I need to know before I go? Or do
Yeah,
I
you
just
can,
go?
yeah, we said you can do
So
that.
if I can stay in present time, learn what I need to learn,
Yeah.
then go back and
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
Then yeah,
So you could just read Jeff Bezos' autobiography, work out
Yeah.
how he did it every step,
exactly.
then undercut him. And
Extensively study what I need to do, go back, do it. And like I say, I'd be fully aware that the internet is on its way. So if anything,
I think the internet already happened. 'Cause otherwise, how would he have made an online bookstore?
I'd be aware that.
Like,
Maybe not the internet.
I mean,
other things.
it might have been dial-up, and he might have been like, "Mom, get off the phone."
There definitely was internet sales. The whole Tommy Lee Pamela Anderson was on sale.
But then maybe
really,
if I'm inventing it, I can essentially invent it in my image. So maybe I'd start off a little bit ahead.
You're making Danazon.
Essentially, yeah.
Smoky Danazon.
Yeah.
Selling fire products.
and tortoises, and that's it.
Okay.
And then I'd go bust and have fun doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you probably wouldn't care about this, but a counter argument would be, look how much trouble he's in with tax. Would you want that?
Well,
would you battle that? And
I feel like I'd also have, like, the amount of money he has.
Yeah,
I'm fully willing to accept that I don't need that much.
Right.
Yeah.
And that I'd probably pay my staff better and probably avoid that.
Yeah.
If fucking Jeff Beansoup wants to fucking get in trouble,
I can make all the good decisions he didn't make.
Yeah. If he wants to get in trouble with the tax man, he can go fuck himself. He's got more than enough to pay for the tax. Like, if I can pay my taxes, he can pay his.
Fair enough.
And he can pay his workers a living wage. This is getting really political instead of comedy.
It is. So, what
coming from where I come from, it's easy to say that and just be like...
Yeah, but also, I bet Jeff Bezos thought that when he started his little bookshop.
Yeah, but I would have the prior knowledge to know not to do that.
True.
How would you battle the real Jeff Bezos?
Just do it first.
Starting the same thing, but
I'd battle him in a Tesco car park.
Tony the Tiger, the Grinch.
So something about Jeff Bezos, right?
Me and Jeff Bezos.
Something about Jeff Bezos.
I bet Jeff Bezos has got like nunchucks.
He probably has.
He probably just ordered them on Prime.
I mean, what's to stop me going to him and be like, "Do you want to be my business partner?"
Because he's probably like a snaky bastard.
Yeah,
He'll like get you out of it just as it's about to make money.
Well, I'll know not to get out of it. Like,
well, do you know what?
He'll be like, "Oh, you should just let me do it." I'll be like, "No, you're going to make billions. Like, grow up."
Do you know what you could do though? To be fair, you could at least tell him not to make a fucking phone. You remember that fuck up?
I don't remember the Amazon phone. No.
Amazon made the Fire phone.
Oh yeah, they made it.
I had a Fire tablet.
Yeah, so you know the Fire tablet
Yeah.
was like just an ultra cheap tablet.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Tablets in the hands of people. Yeah, they're terrible, but if you want a screen to throw in front of a toddler,
Yeah, they do the job. Like,
yeah, like you're not going to buy him an iPad Pro, are you? But they made this Fire phone, and it was like a mid-spec Android phone, but it was like Android, like mid-price Android phone, but like specs from last year, Android OS from like 2 years ago, and all this shit. And the only good thing about it was it had like a 3D screen, like, you know, like the Nintendo 3DS.
Oh yeah,
That was it. And it just fucking flopped because it didn't even really have Android. It had like that Fire OS, which is Android without the App Store, isn't it? So you could tell him not to do that fucking bollocks. tell him to not make a dildo that flies into space.
I'm surprised neither have said NFL. That would have been fun.
Oh, look how much shit it's in.
I think that would have been cool.
It would have been fun. But hey, I've said the guillotine.
Yes.
Yeah, let's not blow over that. What's going on?
Yeah, so Kurt, come on.
Okay, cool. So,
we're talking the French Revolution.
Yeah, we are.
We're talking
one of the Louis is in power.
King Louis the 15th.
Is it 15th?
I don't know.
It's one of them.
There was like 17 of them.
Yeah, there were.
Pick one.
I'm picking King Louis the 15th.
Sure.
Okay.
Now, here's my point I was trying to make earlier with Amazon tax problem is, okay, I get it. You're happy with the money you have, but at least half your money is going into the state, right? If I invented the guillotine, the state pays me.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good choice.
So I'm making all the money. And back then, that's a lot of money.
You're also making the heads of state.
Oh, God.
But would you be content living in that time?
Yeah.
For sure.
Because, like, you ain't coming back and being like, oh, I'm Kirk, the great grandson of the inventor of the guillotine, and look at my vast fortune.
Yep.
You're like, that's it. You're going to be there like, hear ye, step ye right up and see my amazing
Okay, walk me through what you would do.
How
So
good you
you've
French?
invented it.
Yeah.
You've got your payout from it.
Yep.
Or whatever.
Well, let's say I haven't yet. Let's say I haven't had the payout yet.
What would you call it?
Okay, you've sent it off. You've been like, here it is.
Because we've already heard that we've got Smoky Danners on.
Smoky Duck, yeah, it's true. So when we came up with that, what would you call it?
Yeah, what would you call it? Well, I mean...
I'd call it justice.
Oh.
And let me tell you why. The governments would lap that up.
Yeah, they would.
Right? They'd be like, oh, we've just bought a justice system. And you're like, oh, fair enough. Sweet, right? Anyway, before I've made the money, okay?
What's justice system in French?
Leave it.
Justice de chat.
So here's the thing, right? I'm thinking I want different governments, different states, different parties, whatever it was back then, to give me a pitch. Basically, I want to pitch my guillotine, my justice system to them, right? And the best thing about this product I've made is if I don't like their offer, I simply show them how it works.
Right. Bruh.
Problem gone.
So you're basically like, if you don't pay me, I'm going to murder you.
Exactly. Oh, please, sir, just bend into this part here. If you look up, you can see that, blah, and off you go.
Are they
right?
Are they stupid enough for that? Would they be? I'm sure.
Yeah, it's the 1600s for sure.
Yeah, they definitely would be, wouldn't they?
Sure. If you just put your head here, you can see how sharp this blade is. Bang! Nice. It's gone. So
wouldn't you get arrested?
Who's going to know?
Well, you can only do one at a time.
Yeah. Like you'll be like,
I'm in a pitching room, like as in like they're coming one at a time, and the previous person doesn't know what's happened.
Dragon's Den don't work like that, bro. There's not like Duncan Valentine walks in, and then
I think you're making up a little scenario here. Yeah, that I definitely wouldn't.
I've just invented the best justice system the world has ever seen.
Yeah, but why couldn't you invent peace?
Because you said I can go back and do whatever I want.
That's not backwards, that's forwards.
I can make a lot of money. You said what thing could I invent from peace? Yeah. Peace hasn't existed. Let's be honest, it's a sad state, but we don't have world peace.
We're getting political.
I would have gone back and invented America.
True that. But no, I would make so much money. And
I like how both of you went for the money route as opposed to like being a force for good.
For sure.
Yeah, grow up.
I was also trying to be funny, James. The guillotine. Let's just go straight in.
I like it.
No, that was a full-on panic. That was like, you were like, COVID's happening and there's 2 toilet rolls left. That's how much you panic bought the guillotine.
Yes.
Okay, let me get back to the question. Right, guillotine is a thing now. You've invented it.
Yep.
It's now going to be widely released as the way to do it.
Are you making the justice system co?
You're getting your pay. Yeah. You've just started, like the cash flow's coming in.
Yep.
Now what are you doing? What's your day to day? What are you doing?
I am living like a rich man.
Yeah, but like what? Okay, so am I. But what are you doing? Like, what do you want to do?
What do I want to do? I want to be basically. I want to basically be Louis XV's right hand man. So I've got
because Louis XV got his head cut off
by my invention.
Yeah, so
how do you think that happened?
Don't you want to be
by being his right hand man?
Don't you want to be like Napoleon's right hand man? I don't know who came after Louis XV. Louis XV's right hand man.
I would basically be royalty's right hand man, but not in like a little finger way. I as in Game of Thrones.
Oh right. I haven't watched Game of Thrones.
Okay, not in that kind of way, but more of an advisor that keeps its distance. So I get all the money, I get paid everything, I got all the power, but I'm not blamed for anything.
So you're fully going to throw him under the guillotine, right?
Oh, for sure.
Like, so literally the guillotine is going to be there and everyone's going to be like, kill all the nobles. And you're going to be like, don't know what you're talking about, mate. Louis the who?
Exactly. I'm gone. And are we coming back or are we living there forever?
That's what I mean. You've got to stay there.
No, you've committed to.
That's fine. That's cool. I'm all good with that. Because it was a simpler time and I know exactly what's going to happen. And I can leave France if I wanted to.
Yep.
And go to England and I know what's happening there from history. I know what's happening in Germany. I know what's happening all across Europe.
Yeah,
and true. I could sell my guillotine everywhere, make a lot of money, live a very happy life. I don't really need technology. I'm all cool with that. I like technology with all the stuff that we're using right now, but I could invent podcasts while I'm out there.
No, you can only invent one thing.
This is true.
You can't.
Actually, that's not what he said.
Start inventing. Yeah.
If we can invent one thing,
he said
we go back.
He said one.
And then could I not invent things after that?
I mean,
then I'll start inventing other things as well.
I mean,
I'll be more modern and get more money for it.
I guess you could invent other things, but they'd have to be things that haven't yet been invented.
Okay. Oh, yeah, sure.
So you could make
Amazon.
you could make like cast pods. I don't know.
No, the guillotine. I'd go down in history. That'd be pretty cool. And I know I would.
What is it named after a person called Guillotine?
I think it's Monsieur Guillotine.
Monsieur Guillotine.
Monsieur Guillotine.
I don't know.
How many? If you were to ask people in the street who invented the guillotine and who invented Amazon, how many people would know each one?
Yeah, but
okay,
so you go down in history.
Work on that, Dan.
No,
you can.
But
somebody literally said, like,
I wouldn't if he hadn't made that point. He's like, I'll go down in history, but also Jeff Bezos is definitely more famous than
but that's because
Monsieur Guillotine.
He's
exactly.
alive. He's right here, right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but so you can't judge it.
The guillotine is a dead technology now.
If you went back in time,
I'd argue that Hitler's more famous than Bezos. He's dead.
I wouldn't say famous.
No, but basically,
I wouldn't either call either of them famous. I think they're both infamous.
So what's interesting here, as I've just realised, is we've both chosen technically the biggest forms of entertainment of their time.
Oh, yes, that's true.
So
yes.
Bezos goes down.
So you're about to invent Guillotine Prime. That wasn't invented. You can have that one, mate.
I can have that one.
It's just set up outside the door and they just stick their head out and it's gone.
My love,
we have both chosen. We've both chosen to make entertainment, but mine was far more looked at. It's like there were no competitors apart from hanging, and who wants to watch another one of those?
Yeah, hanging's old school, man.
A blade that takes someone's head off. Everyone wants to see this.
Something that cuts pieces of paper perfectly square.
For me being a performer, me being a musician, that's what I do as a main job. I would want to, if I couldn't do something musical, I would go back and make another form of entertainment that I know is successful. Guillotine.
Why don't you invent music?
Because that's way too far. That's way too far.
That's the point I'm trying to get at is like living.
Yeah, but Kirk's basically just invented the guillotine, and then Guillotine Prime, and then Guillotine Fresh,
right?
And then Hello Guillotine, and then Blue Guillotine.
I'm going to drink wine, get fat, get laid a lot in France.
Right.
Bonjour. Get paid by the state.
I guess it's what you're content with, because me personally wouldn't be content with that life.
That's fine.
Especially in those times.
That's fine. That's up to you. I'd be perfectly happy.
Everything's long down.
I'll be attending concerts.
I just don't see the appeal of... I see the appeal of inventing the guillotine, but once you've done it, that's where it ends.
No, it doesn't.
In my opinion, it does.
Guillotine Prime.
I get to watch every French king die at the hands of my creation. And they were absolute assholes.
Did we get him sectioned?
They were absolute assholes.
And you're forgetting about Marie Antoinette, who was famously the woman who actually had her hair shaped like a boat for a while.
So, James, would you rather live...
I mean, I'm a history geek. I would love the opportunity.
But you'd rather... Okay, there's the opportunity to go back to that time and stay there for a week, or live there forever.
The problem with you going back to such a short period, is you still remember all the shit things that happen. You've got to live through Twin Towers again. You've got to live through all of those, but you got to live through COVID again. You got to live through all that shit again, because you know it's happening and you can't do a thing about it. All you've done is invent.
You're acting like these things have had a big effect on my life. Yes, technically COVID did, but also I completed Spider-Man and played a lot of Skyrim. So, like, what's your point?
I wouldn't have invented...
Relatives dying again.
I wouldn't have invented either of these.
What would you have invented?
I'd have done like Microsoft.
It's not a million miles off Amazon.
Yeah, it's the same thing, isn't it?
No, it's not though. It's all because Bill Gates is a sound geezer.
Okay.
Yeah, but that doesn't make a difference. Like,
I'm just saying.
Technically, that's irrelevant. So I'm doing everyone a favor by not letting it be Jeff Bezos.
It sounds like you're going to be a dickhead too.
Not as much.
Now the game is,
and he's not.
The game is to convince the questioner.
No, he's about to chop bitches.
The game is to persuade the questioner to side with you. I know James is a history buff, and I know he'd rather chop people's head off.
And he's just said that the thing he would invent is practically the same as mine.
Interesting. Yes, that's true.
Yeah, but I do like Guillotine Prime.
But you made that up.
I tell you what, this is how it's going to come. This is what it's going to come down to, right? Kirk, give me one other thing you would invent based on your invention.
Based on my invention, if I took the guillotine and had to make something else.
Yep, like you've completed the guillotine, mate. That's done. You've got the platinum trophy.
Okay.
What are you doing with it next?
What am I doing with the guillotine?
Guillotine Prime. Say it and you win, you idiot.
Guillotine Prime.
Well, no, because I want to know what that entails.
Yeah, sure. No, I wouldn't make Guillotine Prime.
What would you make?
I would make even more money.
Make like a triple,
right?
a double one that cuts your legs off at the same time.
Oh, that's not a bad idea. But no, I
Or like
would.
A twinatine.
Now I have invented the big guillotine I've sold to the state. I'm going to invent mini guillotines. Personal kitchen guillotines.
ones.
Are you going to be like that?
To chop your sausages.
Those
And
geezers
carrots and broccoli.
the geezers that you see at like the car boot sales with the choppers. Like, look at this. You want one now? 20 quid. 20 quid now, right here. Right, love. What colour do you want? You want red? There you go, love. You want to chop a potato? There you go. You want to chop a carrot? There you go.
Remember, I'm still in the 1600s.
So you could.
I can't do too much, but I'm going to invent personal guillotines at a fair price that people can buy, take home, and then be even more inspired and get even more hyped up to come and see a beheading.
Yeah, I mean, that is strangely impressive.
I like that.
Yeah.
The little
All right, Dan,
little home one.
Counter. Amazon's. You've completed Amazon, mate. What's the next thing?
To follow in Jeff. No, I'm joking.
Amazon related.
A big penis rocket.
What would you call the company?
Company.
Oh my god! Fuck me! What is this? Right.
So James.
Right. I based on the final point of the question, I'm going to give it to Kirk.
Yes.
I would have given it to Kirk as well.
Not in last place anymore.
Not for the whole time, just for that last bit. Just for the kitchen, like the kitchen. Picturing you going to the car boot.
Go on, Kirk, give us your car boot impression. I want to hear the
You
sales-
have seen Louis lose his head. Now take your carrots and make them lose theirs.
I want like what's it? JML. Shopping channel. The new kitchen guillotine from JML.
He walked into B&Q and it's one of those little screens.
Oh yeah, in the 1600s, B&Q. Have you invented B&Q as well?
Okay, so
Thanks guys, that was fun.
that now
Beheading and quick.
Yay. So
Just got it.
So, okay, with that question finished, then Kirk has definitely jumped up the leaderboard a bit now. He's gone from last place
The tied first.
to tied first.
Yeah.
Shows you how quickly things can change over here at Would a Panther Kill a Raccoon in the Wild. So, scores are 3 points for me, 3 points for the Kirk, and Smokey D's only on 2.
And it's my question.
And it's your question.
It's my question. Going to convince me. So James can either retake the lead or Dan can join us in first place. Quite tense actually for an episode 3, isn't it? No one's running away. It's pretty good. Okay, so this week's round 3 fight. Who would win out of any character played by the great Robin Williams?
Oh,
Genie.
Damn it.
It's gone Genie. That's an obvious one.
Damn it.
Can we just end it there?
See, when I thought about this, I had another one in mind that I think can possibly beat Genie.
I don't
wonder
know
if
it.
James is going to get there.
Can't think of any others. Jumanji guy, Peter Pan.
He says he can't think of it. He's like rattling off Robin Williams characters like the Yu-Gi-Oh card.
That's it.
Okay, that's still 3. That's pretty good.
That are actually.
I'm trying to think.
You think
There's
I'd
one-
know more? Gumpy
there's one that
guy,
I think I'm like.
Flubber. He's in that, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't tell you what his character's name is. I was about to say Elf. Then that's not right.
That's Will Ferrell.
Mother, what's her name? Aunt. Oh God, Mrs. Doubtfire.
Doubtfire.
Nah, her. I changed my answer.
You've already gone with Genie. You're giving James all the good ones.
Why would I change my answer?
Was he?
Is he allowed to Google
Wait,
Not
the
really.
Witch King? Did he play the Witch King?
was he Peter Pan?
He was older Peter Pan, yes.
Oh, that doesn't count then. It's not good Peter Pan, is it?
He does get his powers back in Hook, though.
Mm.
He learns how to crow and fly again.
He's somewhat mature Peter Pan.
Okay, I'll take mature Peter Pan.
Okay, mature Peter Pan from Hook
Who
versus...
are you thinking of as the other one?
I was thinking of the guy from Flubber.
the guy from Flubber was pretty close on my list.
I've not seen Flubber in a very, very long time. It's an old.
Well, I'll explain why I would have gone Flubber after I've heard why you guys think Genie will beat up Peter Pan and Peter Pan would beat up Genie.
Shit, he was Popeye.
He was Popeye.
In what? Just Popeye.
In Popeye,
He was
yeah.
Popeye.
There's no other
In the live action
No,
version.
like, actual like. Oh yeah.
Popeye would have been better. Well, Peter Pan can fly. He's got a shank.
Right.
He doesn't get older.
Does he? He has a sword in Hook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Sword.
there you go.
Oh, I'll give you that. That's a good film. I like that film.
It's a great film.
Really good film.
So, in my opinion, the geezer can fly. So, like, he's already conquered the genie's one advantage, which is magic.
Right.
Right. All he has to do, right? All he has to do is rub the genie's lamp. Then the genie works for him.
It's not a bad point.
He still plays the genie when he's free.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my version.
Okay, so you're going from the end of Aladdin,
Yeah.
where he's been freed.
Is that legit? Is that a legit move?
He's just basically confirmed it. He
He
can't change his mind now.
Yeah, I'll go with that because to be fair, you could go with Hook where he just stays in Neverland. You could choose that, but actually he goes home.
Well,
You're choosing to stay in Neverland.
where are they fighting?
Good question.
You got to set the scene.
I will set the scene. Now I know which ones you've chosen.
It doesn't matter because they're going to fly anyway, both of them.
On the wings of a Boeing 747.
They're fighting in Mrs. Doubtfire's house.
Okay.
Okay, close quarters. Man's got a shank. Easy.
Man's got magic.
Magic doesn't work in houses.
Oh, James wins.
Like, in Aladdin, he had to be in a cave.
Well, no. When he gets freed, he literally magics away. Like there's nothing to do with the cave.
Nah, he went back to the cave.
I'm free. Where do I go? Cave.
Well, like
no, he went to the beach or something, didn't he?
I'm sorry, but when you quit your job, you don't then move house. Like, so he's no longer working as a genie, right? Because he's been freed.
Uh-huh.
So he's quit his job. He still lives in the cave. He's not going to move house.
He could just magic himself whatever house he wants.
Didn't he go to like Bermuda or something?
Yeah.
Why the fuck would he go to Neverland then? He's in Bermuda.
Don't know why he'd go to Neverland when he's going to Miss Doubtfire's house.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
To
we're in-
fight
we're
your
in
stupid
Chicago.
little
Why
boy.
would he go there?
To fight Peter Pan.
Yeah, but then the police would get involved.
He's got a
because
golden-
he'd be beating up a minor.
But he's not because he's an adult.
You're like
You
40.
picked
Shit. Yeah, but Peter Pan's got a shank.
That's effectiveness against like a genie.
All he would have to do is trap him in another lamp.
How does he do that? Explain how the process of trapping the all-powerful genie.
You go, oi, look over there, and then throw a lamp at him.
Is that how it works?
I'm not entirely sure, to be honest.
I
That's how it works.
thought.
I'm not saying like a little.
When you think about it,
Aladdin
genie-
lamp, like a desk lamp.
I mean,
It's still a lamp.
to be
Pick
fair,
the
when the
Pixar
genie
lamp.
was freed, when the genie was freed, like the most iconic part were that these wristbands
Yeah.
popping off, and you've probably got a million of these emo wristbands from back in the day, right?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Off it, on it goes.
That's
you know?
good.
Yeah, but
point.
don't they have to be magic wristbands?
Oh, well, there's nothing more magic than an
And-
As I Lay Dying wristband.
Yeah, that's true. I've got a Green Day American Idiot one that was all embroidered. If I get him with some emo,
That he's embroidered. That doesn't matter though.
get him
You're
with
not
some-
there.
if I get him with some emo wristbands, does that mean like he grows a dark fringe? Like,
He won't have the chance because finger gun dead. Like that's it. That's all
to
it
be
takes.
fair, the genie can create stuff.
Like
Peter Pan can't die.
technically, Peter Pan is dead,
Exactly. Is that the fan theory?
but if he can't die, the genie would then just go, "All right, you're gone into space. See you later."
Yeah, but then he'd just fly back from space.
Well, not if he sends him to the blooming Andromeda galaxy.
Why would he do that?
He's gone then. There ain't no way he's coming back from that.
What's interesting is,
Take a
although
long time.
when we take the name of the films you've chosen,
Yeah.
you have both chosen secondary characters.
What's your point?
Just
Yeah.
interesting.
That's a good point.
It's interesting.
But Peter Pan was kind of the star of the original, and then Hook was just like a bullshit sequel.
Uh-huh.
What?
Aladdin, like, I get that fully. Like, there wasn't Aladdin 2, the genie goes shopping, or something like that.
There's Prince of Thieves, isn't it? Is that the second one?
Yeah.
I'm not asking for a canonical retelling. I'm asking. There was never like the genie was never the main character. It wasn't like whereas Peter Pan was the OG. Hook was the sequel.
Yeah,
but that has nothing to do with fighting ability anyway, so it's irrelevant.
Which is interesting.
Yeah.
Peter Pan can fly and he's got a shank.
Genie's got magic. Do whatever he wants. Like you,
Kirk, he's not understanding.
You're not
Peter
understanding.
Pan's got a shank. Peter Pan is the dead roadman of the sky. Him and fucking Kermit McGregor. And the cool steel of a switchblade pressed up against the genie's throat.
Yeah, no.
Just put a lid on it, mate.
Yeah.
Literally, all I have to do is put a fucking lampshade on the geezer's head and you think, oh shit, I'm back in the lamp.
You act like he's an infant. Like what?
Okay, so let's make this a bit more interesting. So let's say this fight has 3 rounds.
Yep.
Okay. The first round is your first scene of the movie you've chosen.
Oh, yeah, he did.
The second round is the scene where they sort of start to change or start to realize something's wrong. So, for instance, for you, your scene would be when Jafar gets hold of him, right? And your scene would be when you're fighting Rufio.
Right.
Okay. And the last scene is right at the end where you're just talking about where you're free and you got full Peter Pan powers. So, round 1.
Easy, me.
I
rub the lamp.
You're under... Yeah, so you read the lamp, and you're now in his control.
You still got the braces on. So this is how I win the whole thing, right? Rub.
What do you do?
I wish that I win all 3 rounds.
I'm treating. I like it, but I'm treating this more as.
So can we play a game then where we start off where he's dead already? Like
no.
Yeah, well, I am already.
I'm
dead.
thinking more Street Fighter.
Like he's already lost because that's the rules you've just made.
It's Street Fighter.
No, I am already dead though. That's the whole point of Peter Pan. Peter Pan can't die because he's dead.
You can't just make up a rule that makes him insta win.
No, I haven't said any of this. I've not said any of this. It's him. You've been saying it. No, basically, I'm saying like between the rounds. So you could for round 1, you could rub the lamp. Genie's yours. You could win that way, right? But as soon as round 2 comes in, it's almost like you've gone back to the menu screen, chosen Peter Pan level 2, right. You've chosen Genie level 2, and you've gone again. So what would happen in terms of now Jafar is in control of you in level 2?
No, Aladdin is. Jafar doesn't get him to the end.
Is that the end?
Yeah. Jafar will never...
I feel like...
Well, it depends, because if you want the end where I'm free, or you can have the end where... Like, it depends what you determine as the last section, because you can have it as the end where I'm free, or the end where Jafar has me, and the middle is where Aladdin... Or the middle could be either Aladdin or Jafar, and I have... Like, there's a lot more stages than just 3 for the Genie.
But they're the ones that I chose.
He's a well-rounded character.
But they're the ones that I chose.
So, Jafar's the middle one.
Yes.
Okay, so Jafar's in control.
Jafar's in control of you. You are
so I've just
not very powerful, and you've got Rufio on your back.
So I've got a sorcerer and a Genie.
Yes.
Rip, bro. And you're...
Can I fly yet on that?
No.
No, you're like trying.
You can have a food fight. You can have an imaginary food fight.
You're just before you get your powers. Like it's just before. So
you can pretend to throw food at me if you like.
I'm fucked.
Fuck that side. So got 1 each so far, and the third round is
when I'm free.
When you're free,
and I am fully in control. Still a Genie, all powerful.
But I can fly.
But he can fly.
And you've got a shank, yeah.
So I just knife him.
And therefore, but useless against a Genie.
Where in Aladdin law does it state that he cannot be stabbed? Where is it?
I mean, I would explain if you'd let me. You can't stab a Genie because it's basically a ghost.
No. No one has ever said explicitly in Aladdin that he can't.
Okay, then I'll counter it. Okay, let's say you can. Let's say you can stab the Genie.
Yeah,
but before you even get to the Genie, you've been poofed out of existence like this. Gone.
No, because what happened?
It'd be like round 3 fight and you've just vanished.
Yeah, but I'd throw the knife first, so it'd be a draw.
Oh, and the Genie would go, oh, dodge.
Would you need to do it in song?
Yes, I'd do it in song just for bants.
So then, by the time, I wouldn't need to sing though. So because Peter Pan's.
But the first beat
musical.
The first beat would be the snap.
Yeah.
The first beat would be the
You're not
snap.
fucking Thanos.
Well, everyone snaps things away. It's just the thing to do, isn't it?
You ain't never had an enemy like me.
No, I wouldn't risk the knife. Biggest weakness that for genies. Knives.
Everyone knows that you can shank a genie.
Everyone knows.
I mean, is at any point Christina Aguilera in control of you?
Oh. Genie in a bottle, baby.
You got to rub me the right way.
No.
No. Well, interesting. Again, this has come down to people not knowing too much about Robin Williams, I guess.
Yeah, but that's not the point.
It's got nothing to do with Robin Williams.
That's not the point, because what's actually happened is I can fly and I've got a shank, so I'm going to win.
To be fair, I'm going to go Dan.
Better.
I'm going to go.
I'm about to quit.
Although I was disappointed at first. Genie is the obvious choice, and I was hoping that someone could come out with something else. For instance, mine would have been Flubber, because
What's his name? Is it Dr. Flubber?
No, it's I can't remember what it is. Dr. I can't remember. But the point is, in Flubber, he's the most dangerous man in existence, because he creates this thing which has ultimate chaos. Do you remember the golf ball and the bowling ball scenes? He absolutely pulverizes these guys like without even knowing about it. Right?
Yeah,
that's the kind of way I would have twisted this and gone like Mrs. Doubtfire. You know, she's dangerous. No one would suspect she could do anything. She's an old lady. And then wham!
You were hoping that I'd know more about Robin Williams' acting career, when actually
Yeah,
the
it's
only
true.
characters I knew immediately were Peter Pan and Aladdin.
It's true.
Aladdin.
But that's the way the game goes. But Dan, you've won anyway.
Yeah, good.
So after I was cheated out of that,
Hey,
after I was absolutely robbed, because we all know that genies can actually not take a knife.
I think it would take several knife stabbings to kill a genie
You've never seen
in the wild.
Peter Pan with a sword. It's a sword, not a knife. They'll go all the way through.
Oh, you kept saying knife, so I
Yeah,
rolled
no,
with it.
that's true. That's true. Right. So after that, we're all tied again.
We're all tied again.
Episode 3, and after episode 3, we are 3 each. So
All to play for.
And I've got an audience point.
yeah.
Yeah. Technically.
We could put that in the bin.
So
Irrelevant.
let's wait and see what episode 4 brings. I think hopefully we'll start to make this a little bit more interesting.